we started out with do-do-do-do-do. The first thing we did, but after that was do-do-do-do, shoo-doo-shoo-doo, do-do-do-do. I did the bass, of course.
That sounds great. Sounds fantastic. Tell us what was your favorite part so far, Jim?
All of it was my favorite. I'm a little biased, of course, but yeah, Gene Chandler, that entrance he made, I thought was great. And, it's just nice seeing some of the people I'd worked with in the past, the Penguins, and they still sound good, you know. And yeah, I liked everything.
Well, no, we heard you sing a little bit earlier in the last break, and you're still sounding fantastic, may I say. Wouldn't you agree there,
Have him do the whole song. I don't think that's going to work, is it, Jim?
I need a group.
I think it's going to work.
You need a group. It has a picture of the Five Satins, but it's not the real Five Satins, huh? It's not you.
Well, it's not the original, I'll put it that way.
Oh, okay, okay.
But they came about after the original broke up, so.
Yeah. Well, tell me about the original group and some of the awards you've received and some of the pioneering that you did in the music industry.
Well, the first award we got was in 1995, and that was in the United Group Harmony Hall of Fame in New York. And
oh, there's a picture of you guys. Yeah, that's the real thing.
I look good, don't I?
There he is,
yes,
right
indeed,
there.
You do look good. Okay. And Jim will autograph the book that comes with the Box 2 CD set when you call and pledge your support at the $150 level or greater. So before the night's over, Jim, you're going to autograph my copy for me, aren't you?
I will.
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. What are we seeing here, Jim, on the tape?
That's when I was at the Apollo Theater in 56, 57. We played there about 4 times at the Apollo. And that was the mecca, of course, of all black musicians at the time. There I am on the right, was the right-hand side. And that's me coming up the backstage of the Apollo, looking nervous as I am tonight.
As you are now.
Yeah.
You can't be nervous.
Yeah.
No.
But
is that you again, or that's other members of the?
That's it. That's other members of the group. Jesse Murphy, that was Eddie Martin. You just seen Tommy Killebrew. He passed away, and there I am there.
The guy's still living. Do you see him very often? Or?
Yes. That's when we got inducted into the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame there in New York.
Tell him about the cash, Jim.
$5,000. That's more than I made in a year singing back then.
Yeah, but not as the bug man, right?
No, right. Right.
What are you doing nowadays? You're in pest control?
I have a pest control business, so if anybody got any pests out there,
as he looked at me, did you notice he looked at me when he said pest control? Thanks a lot, bud. I appreciate that. Now, when you see the Cadillacs on this break, they were actually the first doo-wop group to do choreography, right, Jim?
That's right.
And you worked with them many times.
Many times.
And, you know, it's amazing when you watch...
some of their dance steps.
Okay, so we had him sing. How about doing a couple dance steps?
Yeah.
See, I'm good.
Well, how did choreography come about? I mean, what gave him the idea? You have any idea?
Well, you know, at one time you just started out just singing, stiff. But they were the first to get out there and put routines to their songs. Everybody followed suit.
Now, did the Five Satins did you guys do a lot of choreography?
Oh, yeah.
Can you show us just like one move, maybe?
Well, people are in front of me.
Okay. Saved by the people.
Yeah.
So tell us about the Moonglows.
Oh, the Moonglows, they were one of my favorite groups. They came out, I think, about in 53, while we were, before we even got out there. And I got to meet Harvey and Bobby Lester and Prentice and Pete Moore and the rest of the Moonglows, and we worked with them for a couple of years on different tours and things across the country with Little Richard and Fats Domino at the time, Chuck Berry.
This guy knows them all, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Somebody on the spot, my friends in Marshalltown who are doo-wop fans, I know they're going to be pledging in.
Okay.
That's what we're here for.
Okay.
All right, so we were looking through these pledges to see the folks from Marshalltown and see if they are, in fact, pledging. So you need to do that tonight.
Marshalltown is the doo-wop capital of Iowa, as a matter of fact.
You certain about that?
Right. Now, look at some of these folks that are with you there.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about some of these guys. You know, the Spaniels are going to close this show.
Yeah, that's the Spaniels, like I said, one of my favorites also, with Pookie Hudson, the lead singer. Still sounds good. The Solitaires, I worked with them. The Flamingos. the Valentines out of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, the Drifters.
Fantastic.
I work with the Channels there, Lewis of the Channels, and I work with them at the Apollo.
Not to be confused with the Chantels, right?
No.
Two different groups, right?
Right, the
Chantels
Channels and
the Chantels.
the girls were the Chantels.
Let me ask you a question. Did you ever work with a group called the Times?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, on the telephone with us
Yeah.
is Albert Caesar Berry, the first tenor for the great group called the Times, who in 1956 had a #1 song in the country called "So Much in Love."
Okay.
So let's say hi to Caesar. How you doing, Caesar?
Okay, how you doing?
Hey, we're doing great. Glad to have you on this.
Who's that that's there?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Who's that?
JimFreeman, Five Satins.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Fine.
Good to hear your voice, man.
Good to hear your voice.
Yeah.
This
Great,
is a surprise. This is a surprise to me. I didn't know you were going to be on a telephone hook up there.
Great. Yeah, I didn't know you were going to be there.
I'll be darned.
This is great.
It's good to hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy that you called in tonight, Caesar. Let's go back to 1956. Let's talk about "So Much in Love" and the other hit, "Wonderful, Wonderful," and how the Times got started.
Well, we all started, Norman Burnett, the baritone singer of the group, we were at a summer camp up in upstate Pennsylvania, and they had different talent shows up there, and we got on a talent show. We didn't win, as a matter of fact, but it was a good experience, and we started from there. We had a group, actually the Times was called the Latineers before we got the name the Times. You know, and we went on because everybody back in them days, they were Latineers, they was this-neers and that-neers, and so we called ourselves the Latineers. And then we got with Cameo Parkway Records, and the man, Bernie Lowe, that ran Cameo Parkway Records at the time, he changed the name to the Times. And yes, it was. And on Cameo Parkway Records at the time was Dee Dee Sharp, the Dovells, Chubby Checker, who else? Leanne was in the Hearts at the time, and we had a very good stable back then.
Yeah.
So are you guys, are you gentlemen, I know, still touring the country, aren't you?
Oh yes, matter of fact, with Des Moines, Iowa, we were there, and I was really glad to be there. It was a good show. It was a very nice evening we had there.
Yeah, I emceed that show at the Palace Theater about a year ago, I think,
Right.
wasn't it?
Right, the Palace Theater.
With Bobby V and Johnny Tillotson and the Times. Man, you guys knocked that crowd out, man. They loved you.
We try our best with a bunch of old guys.
What?
Me back to my youth and when music was music, as far as I'm concerned. The different places we played, the different artists and all that we had met over the years, and yeah, it takes me back 40 years or better. Yeah.
What amazes me too is hearing these folks sing here tonight. They sound great.
Yeah.
Some of these guys have been around for over 50 years probably, but many at least 50
Right.
singing, and you sound great. How do you guys do this?
Well, I don't know.
Honey and water.
Is that what it is?
Honey and water.
Okay. Yeah.
I think there was a lot of practice going on at some point too.
Yeah.
I mean, you made it look so easy, but what kind of work was involved?
Well, you had to rehearse almost every day, and especially if you're on the road, it's hard to have your rehearsals while you're out there doing one-nighters and that type of thing. You got to rehearse not only your music but your choreography and get prepared to go into the studio when the tour is over. And it's a lot of work. It's not all just jumping up there sounding good, you know. The Channels, the Jive Five, I worked with them. Jerry Butler, of course, he was MC at when I got inducted into the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame.
And they call him the Iceman.
The Iceman, the Harp Tones, the Flamingos.
The Spaniels, which we've talked about earlier.
The Spaniels, right.
It almost seems like there was kind of a fraternity out there of you folks.
It was. We were close-knit, of course. It was a new music, you might say, at the time. It was a family, you might say, yeah.